Let me do it.
Yeah, you're good.
Welcome to the Crypto Queen Studio. Bow, bow, bow. Welcome to Gamble Politics. Down. I'm here in the crypto studio. Are you guys here in the crypto studio?
Yep, we're here.
We're
back. What's up,
Am
Griffin?
I coming in live in the crypto studio, in the Crypto for Kids studio? This is a crypto that's specifically for children. It's not for adults. You have to check if no. Go to the Circle Jerk one. I don't like the breaking news one. That's much
The
better.
Circle Jerk one gets covered up. It just looks blue and shitty in the background here.
Then just go side by side. Who cares?
All right then. Gosh, this guy, you know what? He comes in the show and he's a real critic. He comes in, he's like, damn. He's like, this looks different. I want it to look different. And then, we spend.
We're spending a lot of time on that. We need to be spending it on Jerk Coin. It's the number one coin that you can use to express your leftist politics. If you're a progressive, if you want to fight back against Trump and the Supreme Court, let's get some Jerk Coin going. It's big. It's real big. Get it on the ground floor.
Number one.
It's huge. How's it going, guys?
It's going well, man. It's going well. It's been a week or two since we've jerked in a circle. So it's glad to see you. It's good to see you, Griffin. We're totally discombobulated. You've emerged from your cave. Do you have any insights?
I'm here on the East Coast. Lots happening. I'm wearing sunglasses because I'm very sick. But also I've been.
Are you always sick these days?
I'm always sick. Yeah.
I feel like you're always like coming down.
Yeah,
it's not good what's happening. RFK
he's always going fishing on the weekends. His sinuses catching up to him by the time we can circle jerk.
Is this the bird flu?
I am. It is. I've been experimenting with a rawer form of milk than raw milk. Now this is milk that only comes directly from the cow. You don't want the milk to touch the air. Okay, the air is poison and the air is bad, and so you can't have the milk touch the air. It's airifying the milk, and that's really the last thing that you want if you're trying to sustain an erection over the age of 28 or so. So did
RFK tell you that?
Well, I am trying to get to RFK and tell him about the rawer milk, that he's missing the forest from the trees on this, that we need a government issued cow in every.
The only milk I drink, and you must have missed out on this, Griffin. You've been ill. You've been battling an infection. I have got a cure for that. But what you don't understand is that until we can get our hands deep into the systems and start doing some, rescue reconnaissance, I don't trust any of the food system. I've been telling Gavin the only food you can eat is the food they're trying to give to our dogs. You must eat the dog food.
I love the Hill Science diet. Go to the Petco. Don't go to the grocery store.
In the refrigerated section in the back of the Petco, you can catch live betas with your own hands and gobble a few on the way out. It's like having a snack at Costco at the sample section. But
Petco is so nutritious. It's so nutritious. But don't go to PetSmart. That's like the Pepsi to Petco's Coke. You want
fermented chicken, Griffin. Fermented chicken in a jar. The milk it produces makes your bones strong.
I'm feeling healthy already. I'm feeling better. I wanted to say though, I don't know where to begin. There's so much to cover, in the actual news. I mean, I don't know if we go UFOs to start, because I'm also wearing the sunglasses because I've been staring up at the night sky and it's been blinding me with all sorts of lights. So I've need to keep the sunglasses on.
Blinded by the light, wrapped up.
Yeah, wrapped up like a douche. What is it? Wrapped up like a douche?
I think it literally says wrapped up like a douche.
Like a douche.
Like the feminine hygiene product.
Yeah, wrapped up like a feminine hygiene. But you got to wrap them up. I think that we should start with the UFOs. Endpoint Zach, editor. Endpoint now. The UFOs are here. They're here, and they're queer. They're hovering over New Jersey. Why New Jersey first, boys?
Well,
a lot's happened.
Here's the thing. Have you ever seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah.
You're familiar with the movie WALL-E, right? Well, that's what the alien world is familiar with when it comes to America, right? They were looking for a seamless transition. They said they had this idea of what the American, what the American individual would look like, and they were trying to gauge where are we most likely to find our people. They were like Jersey, and I think it may be a little bit lost in translation from that famous Blink 182 song. Hey mom, there must be on the boardwalk. I think they are strangers from above. And there's a lot of distance to travel, and Tom DeLonge has a very squeaky voice, and it's very
okay,
if you will.
So theory one is they found the Wally humans first. That's the first. That's the sort of like from contact with Jodie Foster. That's the first signal they received in space was Wally. That's one theory. Now my other theory was, maybe they came for Luigi. Maybe they're here for Luigi, and they're like, Luigi's probably in New Jersey. That's
to break him out of jail.
They're searching for Luigi. Perhaps is a theory. Is I think the closest theory for me. Gavin, like I want us to go over the list of the theories and sort of your guys' just general sense and take on this. But my general sense just up top is that, well, it seems just like a giant fuck up. Seems like someone fucked up big. And I also think we're never going to actually know the truth about what happened. Just like what happened a year and a half ago with the same exact bullshit happened. And then click, 3 weeks go by. And we're talking about, I don't know, like that like that blind date reality show where you get married to someone. Like America moves on. America moves on really quickly. So I think they're gonna move on from this as well. And we're never gonna know the real truth. But Gavin, what do you think?
Yeah, well, my first thought was that this was reminiscent of that Chinese spy balloon story from a couple years ago. I don't even know if that's the one you were referencing. You were probably talking about the UFOs in general.
I think it was even less than a year ago, or a little over a year ago now. That I remember covering at my job. Like for 2 weeks, they were all over the country.
The drones, the UFOs.
Well, just sightings. There was just lots of stories, and it wasn't just the Chinese spy balloon, but just like kind of sightings all over. Near bases and stuff.
Well, the reason I thought of the Chinese spy balloon is because of the story about the congressman who said these drones were Iranian. So I was like, okay, this is just like more, trying to like manufacture consent for escalation with Iran. Conveniently, right before Donald Trump takes office, obviously Israel's trying to goad him into war, being like, see, look at all this crap you have to be worried about. Donald Trump / the American people. Iran is flying overhead or whatever the fuck.
Israel should be pushing that more. That's Gavin. We should work for them. Like these are good ideas. Like these are good ideas.
Okay, so see, second most likely scenario. See, I said first most likely scenario. Wally was one of the few things that Disney was able to get in a shuttle outer space. Milky Way galaxy. Sure. Now we have the second most likely outcome, which is that Mossad is involved and that they are 100% coordinating with our deep state to create havoc and create justification for Donald Trump to go ahead and escalate as soon as he is inaugurated in January. Because one thing we do know about DJT is that he is willing to fuck up our entire planet with our relationship with Iran. He already pulled us out of the Iran nuclear deal. He already assassinated Qasem Soleimani. We don't know what kind of tenor his next administration will take, but we can sure as shit imagine it won't be good. He imposed massive sanctions.
Let's go for Trump. Let's go for Trump right here. Trump has spoken about the UFOs. Headline, and I put it here in the chat for you guys to present. Headline, Trump is saying that the government is covering it up and that it's bullshit. He says, release the info. This is ridiculous. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I'll fire it up really quickly.
Our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people. And they should, because the people are really, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth.
I do agree with Trump, and seemingly he's smart enough to understand this, that it's probably not a foreign fucking enemy. If it was, then like they would have had to enter restricted airspace to get there in the first place, to be flying over fucking civilian communities. So if it is actual military technology, it probably is ours, or maybe Israel. Israel can probably get away with that. They're the one country that could get away with flying weaponized drones into our airspace over New Jersey, fucking civilians. Sorry guys, we're just making sure there's no Hamas members down there in fucking Newark or whatever. But either way, there's that. I do think though that from the UFO perspective, it's interesting because you mentioned, Griffin, that we might never figure out the answer here, and it kind of reminds me of. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of like the Phoenix lights. Was it in Phoenix that like 30 years ago there was this crazy UFO sighting? Tons and tons of people reported the same shit, which was unexplainable phenomena in the air over I think it was Phoenix, and that was like 30 years ago, and I don't think there's ever been a truly compelling explanation. I'm sure there's been other similar sightings in other towns, but I think Phoenix is probably the most famous.
When it's desert people like Phoenix, it's easy to write off. It's like the sun fried their brains. Like that's a desert people. That's a desert problem. But now it's happening in New Jersey, where people are trying to, do crypto and do whatever other businesses are left in the economy. But so it's happening everywhere now. And there's a few like key things that the government is likes to mention about it. Like one, they don't know what it is, but they do know that it's not a foreign country, which seems to be a little at odds just in terms of the logic of that.
Well, I think the logic would be, just to play devil's advocate, is that they would have shot it if it was a foreign country. You know what I mean? Just that would be.
But if you don't know what it is, then you can't determine that it's not from a foreign country if you don't know what it is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think they probably do know what it is. They're just lying to you. And
I agree. That's what they're saying. So they're saying that, and then they're saying like, we're like working on it, I guess, and that it's not like interrupting anything. But over the last 24 hours, I think an airport has shut down, and I think over a military base they had to like shut down.
I think we just lost Griffin's mic. I think we just lost his audio. Can you?
I can't hear Griffin either.
Griffin. Oh God, no, we lost
the
Griffin.
Aliens intercepted him.
Here we go. He's back. Griffin, can we hear you?
Hello?
He was speaking the truth.
Back.
He was about to reveal the true origin of these drones.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, we flew too close to the sun. Here's some government approved. I'm sorry, we love America. Let's take a look at some state-sponsored propaganda for a moment. What is going on? Where are they?
What is going on?
800,000 drones registered in the U.S. Oh, okay. See, go home, guys. Oh, it's just. Oh, okay. Sorry. So, I'm just kidding, Mr. Bezos.
Hold on.
Having fun.
So, are you saying that these are all personal drones that are all happen to all of a sudden being noticed?
I did hear that New Jersey recently passed a law saying that it's now legal to fly drones at night, which would be the funniest explanation for all of this, is that a bunch of idiots in New Jersey just realized for the first time that now there's drones flying around at night, and they all freaked out about it. But it seems to be bigger than that, because I don't think like airports would have shut down and stuff if it was just that.
Yeah, so there's a few other facts about these drones, like apparently they don't give off like heat signatures,
right?
Which was like that's new technology of some sort. And I just I'm not sure. Like, is this like a program that like went wrong and they all like went out on accident and they can't get them all back in? Like, it's very strange. And I don't know. But some of the other theories, one theory, like I hate covering this story because whenever I look at this story, it's like 99% like fake ass shit. Even though this is actually happening, it's one of the most annoying things. Griffin is Willie. Who's Willie?
Silly Billy and Willie, my dude. Anyway, keep going.
You have to cut me in on that merch money then.
He's like, don't rope me into your fucking bullshit.
I'm like, no, I'm against that. I am crying Britney Spears girl for TYT. Leave them alone. So with another thing that people are saying though, one of the, this theory kind of like coincides with how bad Twitter has gotten or whatever, like in terms of like it's just slop and trash.
Well,
and
it promotes garbage, right?
crazy.
So as long as anything gets even the most shallow engagement, it's beneficial to every blue check mark.
It's a million engagement farmers saying like whatever story. But for some of the common themes that I've been seeing from the engagement farmers is that it's like they're searching for a dirty bomb and they don't want to panic.
What does that even
people.
fucking mean? Because I keep hearing that too, and I'm like, what is a dirty bomb?
So I know dirty bombs from like
that sounds like a bowel movement or something.
Like,
you know?
Well, it is. Yeah. Well,
maybe it's Shenyang, and they're trying to coordinate a large visual apparatus to expose everyone to the beauty of China before communism.
Of the evils of communism. Yeah. Honestly, that's Shenyang is far more competent than our government, so it is possible to have that player in the
That guy's also loaded.
But what is a dirty bomb for real though? What is that?
I just remember it. I remember
makeshift
from TV
nuclear
shows.
weapon. The fuck?
It's like I don't know. I think Middle East. When I think dirty bomb, maybe that's my racism inside me. I think I think 24 from Jack Bauer.
When Griffin thinks of a dirty bomb, he just gets flashbacks to his last Taco Tuesday.
I think that dirty bombs happened a lot in certain wars and people got mad about it. Like there's been dirty bombs before. I think it means like you could consider like a mini nuke maybe a dirty bomb, something that
would a pressure cooker bomb be considered a dirty bomb?
Something that like fucks up the water or fucks up the air.
Oh, okay.
Like,
who would be able to make that other than like a foreign government or our own government? Because it's not like normal people could just like make a nuke or whatever. Maybe they can. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know.
They can get their hands on some enriched uranium. Maybe.
I just feel like it's like that would be a bigger concern if like, oh, there's someone has a nuke out. Like I think there would be a bigger response to deal with that. Although this is a pretty dramatic response, having all these drones flying around. So
and
I don't know. It just seems like couldn't they like have some heat map and figure out exactly where it was?
No, they're heatless. They're heatless. Remember, and they're coming and. Another story.
No, I'm saying the uranium being enriched.
The dirty bombs or whatever.
There's no way that there's anything close to a nuke being made by a civilian, though. I will say that.
That's one theory. The other big theory floating around is from Alex Jones, and this one tickled my fancy because I liked it. It was like, oh, he's worked on this for a bit. So his was that they're putting all these drones up so that they're going to make drones illegal for personal use. Like you schmucks who posted that, like Zach here, tried to prove it was for personal drones. And they're going to say, you know what? Drones are too dangerous. Official federal law, no more drones for personal use. So government and big private companies can own the skies. That's essentially what Alex Jones is claiming. So he'd be very
honestly,
bad.
that's a less unhinged theory than I was expecting from Alex Jones. I was expecting you to go say something way fucking more unhinged.
No, because the problem is now like just like in the same way that like SNL isn't funny now because it just does what's already happening. Like reality is just a little too fucked up that it's like
stranger than fiction.
It's a hat on a hat kind of for Alex to make something weird up about the floating UFOs in the sky. It's kind of a hat on a hat.
They're not aliens. They're not aliens. They're not government. Yeah.
But I do appreciate though that at first I was like, it's kind of crazy that society doesn't care more about this, but then I was like, no, they're right and I'm wrong. I'm worrying way too much about all this bullshit and people are just going about their day and they're like, you know what, let me know when they start scooping us up and abducting us or something. You know, people don't care.
Let me know when the probing
just going
begins.
About their lives. I mean, like if you're right under them, people are pissed, but people generally don't care, and I aspire to that.
I will say if it is fucking aliens or UFOs of any variety, like it is getting to the point where like, bro, just fucking, can you just reveal yourselves like just the actual aliens? I'm sick of these drones and satellites and all this shit. Like announce your fucking presence, say what your intentions are. Well, you can meet our leader or whatever the fuck, but like, can we just, I'm sick of all this speculation. Like, I feel like at this point, honestly, even if there was aliens and they were here, most people would just be like, okay, whatever. Like, let's work with them. Let's figure out what needs to be done.
Yeah, let's bipartisan relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I feel like at this point, as you said, Griffin, like it's gotten so crazy that most people would be like, huh, okay, like whatever. I'm not saying that is what's happening.
Seems like low class for the aliens. I don't think that the aliens would do this. Like I as someone who believes there are aliens, this seems like something else. This seems like a fuck up, like a program fuck up.
This seems like an effort from the mob, maybe.
A what?
I said maybe this could be the mob. I'm trying to spitball here, guys. You guys,
no,
you know what?
No, this is good. We're spitballing.
We got to think outside the box. I'm trying to color outside the lines for our audience. This is in New Jersey. Hello, I'm not trying to discriminate against any Italian, brothers of Sons of Columbus or anything like that. I can get down with your guys' cuisine and all that jazz, but I'm just saying in New Jersey. It's like, oh my God, we're getting about 25 years from The Sopranos. They're running out of ideas. They say, hey guys, here's what we've got. We've got a corner of the drone business. Okay, because that's the future.
I thought I'd be stoked.
Organized crime.
This is what I said, by the way.
Spy balloon vibes. Shenyang. So the Shenyang
vibes.
Shenyang's getting some.
I just remember everyone freaked out about that, and they were like, "Shoot it down!" Everyone turned into a fucking war-hungry crazy person for 48 hours because of some stupid fucking blimp over Montana. And I'm like, okay,
they're shooting at the ones right now. They're
the U.S. military. Or
no,
people.
I've seen people shoot at the drones now. So yeah,
with just a handgun or an actual fucking
a rifle. It's not making it. It's but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. No, we should go. We should fund a circle jerk excursion to New Jersey and fucking get some target practice in, boys.
Yeah. Fund me as an elite sniper unit to take down these UFOs.
Anyways, guys, you know what else is really getting after me, guys? Unless you had anything to add about these unidentified.
I'm just depressed about it. I someone who wants it to about the aliens. This doesn't feel like aliens, and it's a bummer. I don't know why, but
I just want to see aliens. I'm just annoyed that we haven't seen them yet.
Speaking of things that will annoy you and make you uncomfortable, let's listen to Mark Cuban, billionaire. Longtime flirter.
Okay.
A political run. Let's hear his thoughts. Because guys, we at the Vanguard, we at the Circle Jerk America, Griffin at his casa out in an undisclosed location.
This is not a casa. This is the Crypto Queen's Crypto for Kids studio.
Exactly. My point exactly. And you know what? We listen to all voices here. We're not above anybody's suggestion. And here, this guy, Mark Cuban, he comes out with a real curveball. He's also interested in coloring outside the lines. He says, guys, it's not identity politics that killed Kamala Harris's campaign. It's not the woke mob. It's her refusal to embrace crypto momentum. Are you ready, boys?
Yeah.
Embrace it.
That's why I didn't vote for her.
Folks, grab your ankles, bend over.
I know there was some discrepancy between unrealized gains, and that was something you thought was a kind of a non-starter. Did you have some influence on policy there?
I think I did. I mean, I talked a lot about unrealized gains. And, when I went out there and said, for the first time, it was ridiculous. And I went back and spoke to them and said, I'm not hearing you guys challenge me at all. And they're like, well, you're saying things that we'd like to say, but we can't say. So I kept on going with it. So I took that as tacit approval and went with it. So that was one area. Another area was crypto. I mean, I was very clear early on that there was data from Pew Research that said, at least 40% of young men were into crypto. And the way I explained it to them wasn't a big picture crypto thing at all. I was like, look, for a 21-year-old kid, particularly men these days, they're not like we were when we were growing up, where it was a rite of passage to open up a bank account or to get a savings account. Now they download Robinhood or Coinbase or some app, and they live in an app economy. And if you downloaded Robinhood or Coinbase, you're buying crypto over stocks. And you're buying crypto not just because you want to see it go up, but because it makes you part of a community.
It's about the friends we make along the way.
I mean, yeah, it gets worse from here, but I wanted to get your guys' initial. You want to hear the rest of it? All right.
There's a way. 10 seconds.
Talks about it, Bitcoin, whatever it may be. And so if these young men have their entire net worth tied up in crypto, and you've got a SEC head, Gary Gensler, doing everything possible to reduce the value of their net worth, and everything they read in those apps about, what's happening to the price of their crypto is, driven and talked about relating to Gary Gensler. They're not going to vote for you.
That's no different than saying oh, Bernie Sanders lost because a lot of people have money in health insurance stocks and they would hate to see that stock portfolio suffer if something were to happen to that industry. I really think that the next Democratic candidate needs to be a friend to that industry so that the investors in it feel comfortable with the transition. It's literally no different, but he's just advocating for dumbass young men who are obsessed with Dogecoin and all these stupid fake fucking cryptocurrencies. And it's not a community, it's not a hobby, it's not a passion, it's a fake fucking bullshit. You're not even investing in real products. You're not even investing in shit like Microsoft or
Gavin, that's where you're wrong. Because when I'm at the grocery store and I'm bringing eggs to the counter, I say, can I pay for this in crypto? And they say no, get out of my store. You've asked this 10 times today. I'm at the pump. I can't use crypto.
It's fucking fake. It's stupid.
It's what or is it the only thing that can
society?
Or is it the only thing that can save society for no reason at all? Because I guess I don't know.
And the funny thing is too, the only point of crypto is to make actual money off of it. USD. That's the only appeal.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but like, okay, you bet on crypto, you put a bunch of money in, and then it went up or whatever. Guess what you get out of that? US fucking D. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Oh, I got some money. Not some fucking crypto money. Some real fucking money that I can go spend at a real store. That's what's so funny. But it's just a fake fucking stupid. It's like the stock market, but fake. That's what I keep calling it. Because again, on the stock market, you're betting on real products. You're betting on real companies.
I respect the stock market people now. The Wall Street guys.
Right?
I'm like, let's return to tradition here. Yeah. Like, let's get some evil guys in suits walking up and down the cobblestone roads over there. I bet I went there recently. There's fucking nothing there. It's like a bagel shop. Everyone's trading crypto now. We need to go back to the stocks. Wolf of Wall Street. That's when things are pure. And I do think with this AI and this crypto stuff, it's just like the world would be healed a lot if all these people somehow, if it was all illegal, if all these people went away. Like it would, there'd just be, things would be so much better.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing really quickly, because like, let's give some context to people about what's happening. What we just watched in that clip was Mark Cuban, a billionaire, sit down with a guy who has about as big of progressive bona fides as anybody in the mainstream media entertainment space. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about mainstream entertainment space. Nobody has more progressive bona fides than Jon Stewart. And what he does in this clip is he convinces Jon Stewart that this is the future, that instead, in exchange, like completely doing away with the bank account, checking account. Oh, that's antiquated. That's the past. What we're going to do is we're going to have kids on Coinbase. We're going to have kids on fucking Polymarket. We're going to have kids on Robinhood. We're going to have kids gambling and getting into speculative assets that are entirely unregulated. And do you know what that's going to do? He is right. Those people are desperate for a community. So he's going to create an artificial community that he can further enrich himself with. I guarantee you Mark Cuban has a fuckload of money in crypto. And do you know what all of these crypto guys are doing right now? They're artificially inflating the value of Bitcoin. It's called a pump and dump. What they're doing is they're promoting it. They're promoting it. They're promoting it. They're printing all this like bullshit currency like Tether and Monero and all these.
It's so exhausting.
And what they're doing is they're artificially inflating the speculative value of Bitcoin, but there's no meat there, right? It's an emperor with no clothes. It's all a facade. It's a veneer, right? It doesn't actually hold any value. And what's going to happen is this next generation of people who, he might be right, aren't opening banking accounts, aren't opening credit and checking accounts. What they're doing is they're betting on a speculative asset that has no regulation at all. And they're going to be the ones that are left holding the bag, just like the Hawk Tuah girls audience was left holding the bag, except they're doing this on a great scale. What happened, guys, is
I'm
they
glad
couldn't
you
come
mentioned
for your
the Hawk
homes
Tuah
anymore. They couldn't come for anything else.
All right.
They don't have anything. You know what I'm saying?
This is the Zach rant. Zach rant. Yeah. BRB, me and Gavin are gonna go take a piss.
We got to get some Oscar music to play him off. That way you don't have to.
I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to entertain the audience for 5 minutes. Let's go back to China off the coast. China. It might be the military. With the monopoly money. I'm sorry. I was trying to give the people some riz.
You were breaking it down, and I needed to zone out for a few minutes. So thank you. You said Hawk Tuah. You said Hawk Tuah, and so here we got the Hawk Tuah clip right here. This is the greatest clip of all time. I'm fully on her side. This is when she bailed from this call where they were hashtag canceling her for her rug pull of her Hawk Tuah coin. Ooh. That hardworking Americans.
Has she disappeared? Did she go to fucking Cuba or something?
They blackbagged her. They reset her programming. She's now a CIA agent again. No, I do feel bad for her. Let's play the clip and let's talk more about it.
It's like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated.
This guy makes me feel more secure about my list.
An actual like.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Wait, was that actually her?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounded like a
But
chipmunk.
anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
That sounded even faker than her voice usually sounds. That sounded like AI.
That is the last time we heard from her. The last time we heard from Hawk Tuah Girl. And Gavin,
she's
you're
in
saying
Venezuela.
You're saying she's gone? You're saying she's left the Earth?
I mean, weren't people saying she could actually face consequences for this scheme?
I'm worried for her. I'm really worried about her because there's no way she knew anything about any of this. She knows. I know nothing, and she probably knows about the same as me on terms of all this stuff. And they probably, like, all these fucking people in entertainment are pushing all this dumbass shit like on their clients all the time when they think they can like make a quick buck off you. So I think she got super fucked here.
Yeah, it does remind me a lot of the whole NFT thing. Remember when like Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton showed their NFTs and people were like, this is a FTC violation or some stupid shit like that. It does kind of seem like the thing that increasingly is not going to be properly regulated. I mean, as you said, this whole fucking industry if any industry should be regulated out of existence, it's clearly this one. Like, I'm sorry, but it's obviously, it should be on the chopping block. It should not exist. There's no fucking function that it serves society. All it is a scam. Either way. But yeah, I feel like we're in a similar moment. And honestly, it's hard to even, as much as I hate this industry, it is hard to really charge, what's her face? Haley Tua, Hawk Tua. Yeah, I mean, if Elon Musk is doing it and Donald Trump is doing it, then like, yeah, you should probably be able to do it too, Haley Welch, right?
Yeah, if there's gonna be like a fucking building in DC called Doge, like then like free everyone.
Here's what I think it really comes down to, though, right? It's like everybody in Congress takes bribes, but if you get caught doing a George Santos, get caught doing a Bob Menendez, they're gonna act like they're all totally above the fray, that's beyond the pale, that none of them would ever even consider doing that kind of brazen corruption. Meanwhile, like Nancy Pelosi's been getting rich off of stock trading because she's the Speaker of the House for decades now. All these kinds of things, right? But you have to know where all of the red lines are. You have to understand how to play the game. I think Hawk Tuah Girl had a bunch of people sell her a line of bullshit, was like, hey, here is how you're going to make a bunch of money. And then it was a complete scam. And I agree, she didn't know any better, but she also didn't have any kind of good team around her. She didn't exercise her own critical thinking. It reminds me a lot of the first hard lesson I learned in cryptocurrency back when I was like 18. And there was this big crypto hedge fund that was getting started, and it was like all the rage on the like dark web or whatever, and you were supposed to send in, at that time it was like $500 was the minimum buy-in, and it was going to be an arbitrage scheme, and they were basically going to arbitrage automatically with really early algorithms of it, and that was how the hedge fund was going to make money. And what they did was they got everybody to send them Bitcoin, right? And they raised this huge fundraiser, and then they did a bunch of fireworks when they met their goal, and then they immediately went offline on the deep end and took everybody's money.
You were involved in that?
No, I watched it all go down, and I didn't have any money. I didn't have $500. I barely had $20 to buy weed with you when I was 18. Gotcha. But I wanted to be involved with it, and then I was like,
so wait, you were just like, wait, so you're watching from the sidelines on this lame ass shit? That might be worse.
Yeah, I was 100% worse, dude. I was working at like a venture capital firm that was like, they wanted me to pay attention to all this shit. Yeah.
You are like, you got that little side of your brain that turns on. You got your finance bro activates like during these stories where you're just like, I'm fucking ready to go on this shit. But then like,
Jack knows a lot about crypto.
Like, but like, don't you like the fucking gambling shit? So like, what fucking base do you have to stand on any of this?
Well, I like to gamble, but I also think that I think regulation's important in the same way that I like to drive a car, but I also think that,
Also, you gamble on real fucking outcomes, not fake bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
that's
what crypto is. But isn't it all those companies like fucking crypto as shit?
Which ones?
Yeah, like
every gambling site.
Well, everything. That's like saying everything is increasingly crypto and AI, right? But that doesn't mean that what he's betting on is those.
Yeah,
things.
in Kansas City. So in Kansas City, the place that's like a legal sports book is actually owned by Barstool Sports. So that's like a kind. It is. You have to go to the casino to place your bet. Like I have used sites like Bovada and Empire Poker and Poker Stars. I've used all of those fucking sites, dude. Like I've been around it. And what I really believe is that you should have, from a freedom standpoint, the ability to engage in like putting $20 on the Chiefs because it makes it more exciting for me to watch it at home, right? But we should have regulation in place that's not, oh, we're going to beat you over the head with, attempts to try and get you addicted.
You should have to go to a place to gamble, and you should have to wear a suit. I think those are my two rules. And here's why: you shouldn't be allowed to do it from your phone. You just shouldn't. This might also be like a way.
Griffin would love the show Breaking Points if you ever check it out. There's a guy that you would really agree with on there.
I don't watch the news, so and I actually don't have a YouTube account. I'm mainly on Rumble.
He went the Circle Jerk America account. Don't play these people.
On Rumble.
I post all those. They're doing well on Rumble over there. They're getting like 500,000 bots over there. No, I mean like it's just like you can't smoke cigarettes out of your phone. Like you can't do like a lot of other vices out of your phone. Imagine if you like could press a button and like beer came out of your phone.
Actually, like, that's not 100% true. I was at the vape store the other day and they were trying to sell me a new vape that has a fucking screen. They were like, you can check Twitter on your vape. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, we're almost there. We're almost there then. But it really feels to me like something that you should have to put on like a really nice suit, not some schlubby shit, and like prepare yourself mentally to have to go like into the store, because like it's obviously like a massive problem and it's like scamming like a bunch of people. And don't you have to use like a VPN to like even use that shit?
On some of them,
it depends on what state you're in.
I mean, you're with me, right? You know that Zach is off camera. You're with me on this issue, right, Gavin?
Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I don't really care. To be honest, I don't really care that much, but I do agree that like it should be heavily regulated to avoid any sort of like scam bullshit. And I think that if you are going to bet, it should be on things that are actually happening, like Zach talked about, like on a fucking football game or something, not just on some speculative bullshit that, like I said, is fake, like Hawk coin or whatever the like shit dick coin. Like it's just fake stuff. I don't think it's like, even if your bet pays off and you make a lot of money, it's not like any of those coins are going to become actual forms of currency. So it just feels fake.
Right. Well, it just feels like a huge like funnel for, I guess, desperate people to like pour money into, and then a few like of the most annoying people ever like go live in a different country afterwards. Like, okay, whatever. But like it is so funny that like Mark Cuban, just to tie this segment back together, Mark Cuban, you broke bitch. How many badass terrible companies have you bought on Shark Tank that you have to be whoring for crypto? How fucking pathetic that in your late age of life, you've been such a terrible businessman that you're like, I got to recoup some of this shit. I've got 3 houses and I got to start hawking this fake ass fucking crypto because I have bought so many stupid popcorn pretzel makers at Shark Tank that I just have for seasons. Like, did you read the article?
Popcorn pretzel.
The article, there was an article I sent it like a week or two ago, but Mark Cuban like has lost so much money on Shark Tank.
Really? Oh my god!
And so like that's my
on the shit he's invested in.
Yeah, because basically he's a major like net loss overall.
Right, that's crazy. Well, and it kind of sucks too, because like I do think that Mark Cuban, for a fucking billionaire kind of guy, like he's better at connecting with the people in a lot of ways than your average billionaire type is. Like I do think there could have been a case that he would be like the liberal Donald Trump or like the Democrat Donald Trump or something, because like I said, I mean, compare him to Howard Schultz or compare him to any of these other freaks, Michael Bloomberg, these billionaire types that try to run for president. I actually think that Mark Cuban could kind of channel the Trumpian thing where people actually associate him with success. They actually think he's a genuinely talented entrepreneur, and they're like, that guy should be in charge. He's confident and smart and good at business, and that's who we need. Like he could exploit that, but I wasn't aware of the fact that maybe that's all bullshit. He's actually not even a good businessman, if what you're saying is true, Griffin.
I think what it really comes down to is the fact that he's decided it's worth it for him to buy public profile, like buy a public profile and be the guy that invests in the up and coming entrepreneur. I think it's all calculated. He's just better at playing the game for a liberal audience than Donald Trump was, or at least he's playing a different game. What he's doing is he wants to be seen as the kind of guy that's uplifting the working class, that's investing in the next American dream, or you know what I mean, instead of being the kind of
the Matt Damon commercial.
Like, exactly.
Forge your journey or whatever the fuck.
100%. And it pisses me off that Matt Damon got involved with that shit, because he was a good guy, man. He was a real true believer for a while. And, you know, I saw Inside Job. I thought it was awesome. I was like, come on, brother, you're one of us. And now, you know.
He was a good guy for a while. And then he did the crypto. Same with Spike Lee, though. He did the same
There would be 100% more dignity if Matt Damon did, like, just blatant dick pill commercials instead. Like, same music, same cinematography, and just like, forge your penis. Forge a new penis. Get your dick hard. Finally. Your dream, your universe. Dream big.
Yeah,
grind,
get your cock
hustle.
sucked again, fuckers.
Get your cock sucked again, motherfuckers. Like that would have 1,000 times more dignity than whatever the fuck he did with his crypto shit. Yeah,
because you guys both seem to be a little bit more smart than me. Like, what is the end game here? Like, by the end of 4 years or Trump's presidency, like, at what point is it ever gonna become a real thing? Are people ever gonna start using cryptocurrency as money, or is it really just a totally fucking fake facade that
Zach will know? Yeah, Zach will know more. What I know is like the crypto has invaded with like the Elons and the other Trump admin people, so there will be some like weird stuff with it. But like at the end of the day, Trump loves the American dollar. Trump is actually very ideological this time. He loves tariffs, and he always talks about like the American dollar. And he was even quoted like a year or two ago saying like that he thinks crypto is a scam. So like he has these like weird gut instincts about gold and the American dollar. Like he's Scrooge fucking McDuck. Like you can't tell him not to fill his pool with gold. Like that's what he's loved gold his whole life. He made every room in his house gold on The Apprentice. Like I think he is. It's weird because the admin is very pro crypto, but I'm not sure what he's going to go with it.
What it is in my view, right, is it's just a long scam, right? And it's a business scam, and it's a money making opportunity, and that's what Donald Trump understands it as. He has been put point blank, hey, you might not understand crypto. You might believe cash is king, and that's how you're going to govern. But this is a money-making opportunity for the people who finance you, and that is how it has been explained to Donald Trump. What cryptocurrency is a speculative asset, right? You're going to hear all kinds of horse shit. Oh, it solves the Byzantine general computer science problem from a bunch of dudes who don't know a single other computer science problem and can't really tell you what the Byzantine general's problem is, okay? It's like very esoteric, and yeah, it might solve that unique cryptographic algorithmic issue that they're having, but it's not something that's going to hold a lot of utilitarian value in day-to-day life. So what happens? They promote cryptocurrency because it becomes really easy to buy drugs and other items illicitly on the deep web. That's how it initially gains prominence, and that's why it's able to sustain itself, and that's how the mining operations were able to thrive in the early stages. Once 2014, 2015 rolled around, it started to mainstream, and you had guys like Naval Ravikant start hedge funds where all they were doing was mining cryptocurrency and betting on cryptocurrency and doing arbitrage schemes, which is when you basically just transfer a bunch of different cryptos into other cryptocurrencies and then make miniature bits of profit off of each transaction. But you're doing it to like 100,000 degrees.
What a pathetic way to make money.
Yeah,
just rob someone.
And so that's all going on. And what is the end game from that? The end game is they're going to try and squeeze people for as much money as they can. All the while, they're going to do a lot of post hoc justification for cryptocurrency. So what you guys are going to, I imagine, hear a lot more about is how it's going to revolutionize the insurance industry. So medical records is going to be a big one that they're going to start to push for you guys. Because it's something that they've been, but because of HIPAA regulations, and it's going to be able to covertly keep people's data in check. And it's they'll talk about streamlining it.
Am I ever going to be able to use it to buy a burger at Burger King? No. That's all I'm interested in, because I know people in the chat are like, it is real money that's used. I'm like, for fucking drugs and like illicit shit that I can't even say on this podcast in fear of demonetization. Like that's what it's mostly used for. But I'm talking about like in real life. Like, can I go to Burger King? That's where the real life is happening to me.
Yeah, no, you'll never be able to use it for that.
Okay.
I mean, there's been like a
America.
Bitcoin, like in my shitty like LA gas like counter deli area, there was a Bitcoin ATM that just like randomly popped up there. Like, what the fuck is that, Zach?
There's
like,
one of
what
them in
is
the
that?
lunchbox over.
I went
West
there.
Bottoms.
Yeah,
it's for
I went
people who
there.
don't have access. So basically what it is it's a scam for poor people, but it's also an easy
sick.
way to send money out of the country. So instead of doing like a wire transfer, so instead of doing, doing that kind of thing to send money. So maybe you have family in, an impoverished country and you're trying to send
So it's
them.
based, it's helping immigrants support their families.
The thing is it's not a stable way to send money. So you'll put in your $40 and, by the time they get it 3 days later, you don't know what that fucking $40 is going to be worth.
There's some processing fees. There's some processing fees.
Yeah.
For sure. Some shipping fees.
I wish it would go away. There's nothing that makes me feel more like I'm in a crumbling world, society, country, whatever, than AI and crypto.
Right.
I'm like, can we not do this? I don't see any point of it at all. It's not enriching society. It's not even fun. Like even the NFTs, at least, like, oh, you can collect them or whatever. With the crypto coins, I'm like, you're basing a community off of like shit coin and like poop coin and like fuck coin and like whatever the hell you're making. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's not what they're actually called.
No, yeah. Like I'm saying, like, we're already missing things. We miss the Wall Street executives. We miss NFTs. We miss NFTs. That's how bad things have gotten. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to get doomed out more because we do have one last big, uplifting story. It's Christmas time in New York City. Christmas time is here. Getting shot in the back of the head while you're just doing your job. When you've got 2 kids and you love your wife. And you're a hero, and you're trying to fix the system from the inside.
Falling down in the street, gunshot wound. It was
really hot guy that shot me. Imagine, it's nice to get killed by a hot guy, right? It's nice to get killed by someone attractive.
Then you don't have to worry about anything bad. You're like, yeah, I think the odds are in my favor. He's not a sex criminal. He's not going to do anything with my body after I'm finished. This guy's not a necrophiliac. He's a guy that takes really good care of himself. Maybe, I guess Patrick Bateman took good care of himself. I guess you can never be sure. But
can we pull up a picture of Luigi? Can we pull up a picture of Luigi here? So, I mean, people loved him before we saw his face. Then people were like, people got literally like what I would describe as they saw like 10% of his jawline from a security camera photo. And everyone was like, he might be hot. And then they released the photo and it was absolutely insane. He's very hot, very attractive. My first question for you guys, cut or uncut?
You know what? I'm going to have to say that a guy like that is still rocking the helmet. What do you say, Gavin?
I mean, he's from New York City, so I think that, even if you just go geographically, probably so, right?
Wow.
That's deeply problematic. But
I think let's instantly get racial. I'm praying fully uncut, and I'm thinking one large vein, kind of going along the side.
Yeah, we're probably dealing with a Ron Jeremy down there.
A Ron Jeremy, 100%.
Remember his landlord apparently said he couldn't fuck anymore, and that's what inspired him to do this.
Exactly. He has a penis that everyone cares about. That when you're in his life,
Dirk Diggler.
When you're in his life, you check in. You check in on his penis, and you say, "How's the penis? How's life?" And then, "How's the penis?" And you know when your leaser, when your renter is having sex or not. And I imagine with Luigi, I did read some articles about Luigi that said that he actually might be bi. Have you guys heard of this?
Dude, I see him posing with that McDonald's thing.
I was about to say the McDonald's photo. I was like, is this
right? You guys got, but wait, let's pull up that photo. You guys got some bi vibes just from the photo, because I found an article. Let me see.
Plus,
we don't
the
have to
other
pull up the
thing-
article, but
The other thing that
keep
people
going.
were saying that gave it away for me was apparently he was using some pretty popular product on his eyebrows. That's usually not associated with like straight men necessarily.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
when
I
you
mean, come on.
when you curate, like when you curate facial hair, that's a telltale sign. Unless you're the hipster guy who does the twirl ones, that's pretty straight. You never think that's gay. That's just hipster. But if you're
on the
curating
mustache or something.
the curl ones.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was kind of a 2006
2008 bartender renaissance
2000
kind of milady energy.
Arcade Fire,
Oh,
yeah, this McDonald's photo, the Mufasa McDonald's photo. Yeah, that's fairly bi, I would say. I don't know,
His
Chad.
eyebrows and the bro tank combined gave me a dude that was, AC/DC, and that was no judgment either way. I was just saying, it's like that's how we rock and roll. That's what's up, bro. Good for you.
Yeah, no, but I was hearing also that, and this is all alleged, but I was reading an article that said he even did he was doing some sort of hookup stuff, and he was hooking up with guys for cash. I mean, there's been a lot of stories to come out, like true or false, about Luigi. But it seems like he was a Renaissance man. He was going to see Wicked, but he was also coding and fixing bugs in video games, and he was also bi and having sex allegedly with large men, and he was
large
men. Yes, that's an article I read. And so there's so much happening here. You have to just kind of not sift through any of it and just kind of accept it all as true, because Luigi represents something larger than who he is. He's become something larger. So I say yes to every news story I hear.
Well, Griffin, the other elephant in the room is a lot of people don't speak fluent Italian. But I got the ear for a little bit of the Italian language. Okay, I understand a few other things. Now I translate for you. Okay, but I've seen The Sopranos 3 times. Okay, and I've picked up a few things. And one thing I know is that Luigi happens to be the Italian name for Patsy. And I don't know about you, but I have heard from my pal RFK that it might be the same folks that were behind Saran. That's just what we're hearing.
Oh, shit.
What we're hearing.
Wait, really? Are you joking, or is that a real thing you heard? Okay, all right. Yeah.
I've come out and said many times, I know Saran needs to spend the rest of his life in prison, but what we also need to know is the truth. Whoever hypnotized that man was the same person that hypnotized Jack Ruby. And I believe his progeny are still at work with black magic.
Okay.
Mangione is a patsy. He doesn't know what he's done.
He doesn't know what he's done. Why would you be that hot and throw your life away? I completely agree.
And I will be asking the president to get involved with a pardon.
That's so true. RFK, you were hot once, and hot people have so much. They don't need to prove a point. They're hot.
Yep.
They're usually good. So there could be a hypnotization. But I wanted to get into a little bit of the media's reaction to it. But first, Gavin, what was your sense of all this as it unfolded? Because I know it's been about a week.
I mean, with the actual the apprehension of Luigi, or with the case up until that point?
Some people are saying, "Oh, is it really him? How did they catch this guy, or whatever?"
I mean,
and then just also the sort of 100% one take reaction from seemingly both the left and the right.
Yeah,
At
I mean, my
in terms
first
of audiences, people, not commentators.
I was really hoping that. Okay, I'm not going as far as to say that it was a literal patsy, that Luigi is not the actual person that did this, but it does seem really weird that you would pull off such a well-executed assassination, not just attempt, but a successful assassination of such a high-profile person, escape New York City flawlessly, like you're a freaking professional. Like, a lot of people were saying before this person was discovered, that there's no way it isn't a professional, that the only person that would have been able to like actually pull this off would be a professional paid hitman.
Until we realize the actual answer is that the NYPD is so useless that you can actually shoot people, I guess.
You can, but I also do think that his escape was very impressive. Like it's not like he literally just bumbled off into the distance as the NYPD slipped on banana peels. Like, no, he had a plan.
Yeah. There was a ghost gun.
He got the fuck out of there.
And when you watch the video, it was cold as fuck when you watch the video. Like normally someone will shoot someone and kind of like jump around and then like run away, real panic. This was some like Terminator shit.
Premeditated. It was planned. It was well executed. It was clearly done by someone who knew what they were doing and who wasn't just like leaving loose ends out. You know, it wasn't like, oops, I fucked up here. I'm not really thinking about this. I did it on impulse. No, this was a very well planned thing. That's what makes, you know, it very weird that he would then 5 days later, as the #1 most wanted man in America, stumble into a fucking McDonald's in Pennsylvania with a backpack full of fake IDs and manifestos.
Right.
And guns
now, I'm actually starting to get Sirhan vibes now from all that because it's like, is there with McDonald's? Is there only one location things happen in America now? Like, it seems like every important political moment is just happening at McDonald's now. Like, I mean, I like it. I think it's a great place. But it seems like, what is that the new public commons for discourse?
Either way, that's the one reason that I'm like, this is fishy. And not only is it fishy, but people were starting to talk about how, like, you know, maybe this wasn't a one-off. Maybe this is the first domino falling in a sort of V for Vendetta style cultural revolution where people are going to start, you know, there's going to be more Luigis. And maybe Luigi is actually, you know, he has a victim that's coming up next, a new target that we're going to, you know, that's going to get picked off soon. There was a momentum building, you know, there was a serious momentum building. And all of a sudden, all of that is squashed because, oops, this fucking dumbass went into McDonald's and then gave his ID to some cashier. Like, what? That makes no sense. And then
the Burger King employees would have kept their mouth shut. Exactly. That's all I'll say. If you go to BK, you have it your way, folks. You can use crypto and you won't get caught.
And even this explanation, I read an interesting thread about how it's possible he was caught by facial recognition. Okay, but
by the self-service checkout monitor that never works. It'll never work when you're fucking clicking around, but don't worry, it'll rat to the cops. It can rat to the cops before it can send its fucking touchscreen order. It's all fucking greasy and disgusting. I hate those things.
But again, like, why would he even? First of all, why would he not be wearing a mask? I mean, clearly he's smart enough to understand that facial recognition technology is a thing that's increasingly prevalent. So again, if you're going to stay in America at all, first, why would he not go to Canada or Cuba or something like that? But if you're going to stay in America, why the fuck are you just wandering around Pennsylvania without a mask on, going into fucking McDonald's, you know, getting a Filet-O-Fish or some shit? Like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. And it does totally seem at odds with the calculated, intelligent, precise nature of everything we found out about the, you know, first phase of this act. So the only explanation to me is that, you know, clearly, I mean, to do something like this in the first place, you're probably not in a totally normal state of mind, which would explain why potentially someone who would be so calculated and precise could then, you know, falter and kind of let their guard down due to mental
he had the back thing, he had the back injury. It was basically the plot of Werner Herzog's Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Where at the start of the movie, Nick Cage is in a prison and jumps from one story to the other and hurts his back, and it destroys his mind, and he turns evil. And so, I mean, I guess back pain can really like make you do like almost anything. I mean, it's like it's clear he disconnected from his friends and family.
Turns you into Nick Cage and Bad Lieutenant.
I mean, and he turned into a good lieutenant, I guess. Instead, like it didn't fully turn him evil. Like he went and did good stuff, I guess.
New York City.
But yeah, I mean, what for whatever reason he did it. I think that this is going to be a case that goes on for a long time. And people are saying like, oh, the jury won't convict him because people unanimously like feel a certain way about this guy. And I gotta say, I think they're gonna fuck him on the jury, because I think with the jury for this thing, they're gonna ask like a simple question that's going to like filter out anyone with like a fucking working brain, which is like, how do you feel about the health insurance industry? And when people have a negative answer, they're just not going to be on the jury. So that's just going to leave people who have a positive view of the health industry or insurance industry, which is essentially just vampires. They are evil. Anyone who thinks it's good is an evil vampire. So I do think he's going to get fucked on the jury.
I do think there's people though out there that might be like, oh, I don't really care about the health insurance industry, but that would then easily be radicalized through a trial if there's a discovery process and he's able to explain his issues with the health insurance industry.
That'd be really funny if the jury was just CEOs. Like they're like, we've got CEOs from Microsoft, Mattel, and they're all just like. They all take work off to be in the jury.
Yeah, I think that the best case scenario is that, you know, New York doesn't have the death penalty, right? So I don't think they can whack the kid, but I think that pretty much he's iced. Yeah, there's no way that they let him get around this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they Epstein him in jail or whatever. Because I mean, like
some people have been floating that. I'm
open to the Sirhan theory, but I wanted to get into the fear happening up in the big penthouses, up in the
you want to play that clip?
C Street. Let's drop this first clip here. You know, I want to talk a lot about the executives because we have to defend our great executives. And you know, it's funny. I saw like a lot of like fucking podcasters be like, "Wow, I guess this is not really the way I want to have a conversation about Medicare for all." And it's like, go fuck yourselves, you fucking losers. You aren't talking about it anyways. This is the first time anyone's talking about it again, and it has nothing to do with anything that you guys have ever done. So I'm glad that kind of all those guys are getting cheesed off. But you know, up top now, the executives are scared, and so now the media is coming in to help them. Let's play this clip.
I slowed my gait as I passed a side entrance to the Hilton Hotel, realizing that this was the same day, in the same early morning hour, in the precise location where 1 week prior, a 50-year-old father of two was assassinated. But something was missing.
Father of two.
Any sign whatsoever of the tragedy that occurred
during Christmas,
and which has captivated the nation. We've all seen the crime.
No balls. They won't even show him go down.
Crime scene. That's
well, thank God, because we'd get pulled too.
I know.
But a week later, here's what was left. A lone piece of NYPD crime tape affixed to a barrier.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, the guy was basically an octogenarian. I mean, 50 years old, over the hill.
He was on his last day of retirement. He was about to clock out after a beautiful life of disqualifying greedy people who want to consume every
Have you ever seen The Incredibles?
Oh, I'm
guys?
sick. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I'm so sick. I need health care. I'm so
going
greedy.
to a one-man show. Gavin's been gone for 10 minutes and Griffin hasn't shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Have you seen The Incredibles?
I love The Incredibles. Sure.
The Mr. Incredible sequence where he has to deny his claim. Sequence. This is that man. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Of the kind that often appears spontaneously after a similar tragedy. Like when John Lennon was murdered in New York City in 1980. Or when 32-year-old Heather Heyer was run down in Charlottesville, Virginia. George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis. The spot in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber were shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes!
What a motley crew.
Yes. No, keep going. It's bars.
Crowds grieve the loss of Alina Hutchins, the cinematographer who was fatally shot on the set of the film Rust. The University of Georgia held a vigil for Lincoln Riley, a nursing student who was killed by a migrant near campus. And when Donald Trump returned to the site of his first assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, supporters appropriately honored Tory's life and service by placing his firefighter's uniform in the stands. But there was no sign of any makeshift memorial on 54th Street. Instead, a poster was taped outside the Hilton Hotel depicting the suspect as a saint with the words, "Free Luigi," a reference to the 26-year-old charged with second-degree murder.
Oh yeah, all of my homies worship at the San Luigi.
It's not like it's not like the protests or the memorial services for George Floyd were like sanctioned by the fucking government or whatever. Like if you're someone who dies and people give a shit about you, they will that will manifest in said events, memorials, whatever the fuck. If you're someone that no one gives a fuck about and you die, then no one will care. Like it's not like you can't blame anyone for there not being a march in the street or something.
You know, Gavin, that's the kind of mindset that a woke person would take. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's woke. We'll find a way how.
They only celebrate the woke. You know, when a white man dies in this country, it's no longer a tragedy. I was watching the Young Turks last night, and they were talking about how these days a crime, it happens to you and you're white. The people, they say, you know what? You probably deserved it. Deserve to have crime happen to you. You get murdered. Your children grow up without a father. You know, they forget, oh my goodness, this man, he once lived. Did he do terrible things? Horrible, unspeakable things? Sure. Yes. But don't we all?
Yeah, and you know, it's like you know what? The leftists, they'll never assassinate a POC CEO. I'd like to see them cross that picket line, okay? And see where their fundamental core principles really lie. So yeah, leftists are a total joke. But yeah, I mean, so the executives are scared. The executives are very, very fearful that they're next. And they already like fucking arrested a lady in Florida, a mom. I don't know if you can pull this up.
Didn't she get let go or something?
She did get let go, yeah.
They like arrested her for just like doing a Facebook post. Like what? A Facebook post?
Wait, wasn't it on the phone?
Yeah, it was on the phone.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was
she said you people are next. Deny, depose, defend, or whatever to some insurance agent she was on the phone with.
And I'm sorry, but
on the phone for like 10 hours.
And I'm just sorry. Like as someone who has worked in customer service, someone saying you're next is probably one of the nicer things that she was told that day. Like the customer service people have heard far worse. That is one of the tamer sentences that you will hear if you're on the end of customer service. I mean, Zach, do you agree?
Oh God, 100%. I used to work at a like a call center, kind of like a glorified call center. Okay.
Yes.
And I processed people's rent payments for a living. Yes. And I had to deal with unimaginable anxiety every single day because every time you answered that fucking phone, somebody was ready to take your head off. It really hardened me and conditioned me for the line of work we're in now.
I remember being at my bar and a regular would sit down and say, I'm going to cut your fucking head off. And that's just a day on the job, okay? That's just a day on the job. They say, I'm going to make an ISIS video right here at this bar unless I get my Jack and Coke on a happy hour. But it's past 6:30. So this is not a crazy sentence. And I guess what I'm saying is, a lot of people are feeling like, oh, it's good the CEOs are scared. But I think the CEOs, they're already going all in. They're gonna start locking people up. So everybody in chat, watch your P's and Q's right now, okay? Watch out what you're saying because this is a very tame sentence. This is a normal sentence in America.
No, it is kind of scary though. I would like when this story hit, I was like, fuck, I've probably made some edgy jokes on the Vanguard that could get me on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
watch
shit,
out.
Like are they really gonna I'm like,
fuck,
yeah.
Please, man. Man, this is what Joe Rogan was talking about, man. This is why Tim Walz can't get into power, man.
Let's be real though.
Suppress our speech.
If one of us got arrested for the show would do great numbers, I think, for a while.
I've been praying Anna Kasparian sues us for defamation.
Yeah, we need something like that. We need a lawsuit. We need something like that. But going back to sort of the CEO fear. Now Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, has ushered in a summit for CEOs, of which of course we're also invited to as CEOs of Circle Jerk America. Yeah. It's 175 CEOs. I think in Manhattan, which is hilarious. It's like it reminds me of like Dark Knight, like when all the cops go into the subway, like in the Dark Knight Rises or whatever, when they put like all of the cops in the subway and then Bane like collapses the tunnel. Yes, Kathy Hochul in a therapy session. Oh, good. We're gonna do some therapy here. That's good. I hope it's covered. CEOs to calm the nerves of the NYC business elite in the wake of the Brian Thompson killing, promising state assistance for corporate security to combat domestic terrorism.
Domestic terrorism. Wow. Yeah. And you guys know this does meet the qualifications and criteria of a hate crime. Not legally, but emotionally, spiritually, to the CEOs of this great country. They are an oppressed class. They are the true minorities. When people talk about the 1%, they never include them. You know, when they're talking about minorities that the Democratic Party really needs to stand by, who is
extend
more
to olive branch
than the 1%? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's the hypocrisy of the left that you guys need to grapple with over here.
We need to protect these people.
As someone pointed out too, is it exactly a smart idea to get them all in one place at one time? Exactly. I don't know if that's in the best interest of the CEO community either, but you know, maybe Kathy has other ideas.
They're going to board onto one jumbo jet, and we're not going to give any instruction to the airline pilots.
Like John Wick, they'll just release Luigi into the convention center or whatever, and it'll be an absolute fucking bloodbath.
It's like, it's like 28 weeks later when they put like every non-infected person in like a basement and then like lock the doors. It's awesome. Like I don't think Kathy is going to be a radical Antifa like member like that, but it is funny that they're like, let's all meet at the scene of the crime.
Comrade Kathy has the opportunity of a lifetime, Griffin.
That's right. She does. She fixed the subways and the buses. Now let's fix our fearful CEOs. So yeah, I'm CEOs this Christmas. They're in our hearts. They're in our thoughts, and we need to hold space for those CEOs.
They fought for everyone else's rights. It's time to fight for the rights of the rich. You know what I mean? Nobody ever talks about what we can do for rich people anymore in this country. You know, you work hard. You win the birth lottery. You know, dad's rich, mom's rich, grandpa's rich, grandma, all pretty wealthy, fabulously wealthy. And then nobody talks about how, you know, that's hard for you, man. You know, you have all this money and everybody says people who have money are bad, but you don't want to get rid of it. And,
no, you don't want to do that.
He was pretty rich too, right? Wasn't he?
That's true.
Wasn't he like a Nepo baby or something?
Class trader Luigi is a based king, unlike the cringe CEO who got whacked on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
I gotta say it was really funny. Like, even though he was like, Luigi was into lots of different like stuff and like theories, he was a little more like ridoid pilled in terms of like the people he was into and like retweeting and stuff like that.
Andrew Huberman.
Like he was like he went to Japan. That's I guess right wing coded now for whatever fucking reason. Which is why I want to go to China now. You know, I think
it's right wing coded because it's like ethnically homogenous, right? Like there's no black people and shit.
Oh, that's that why? Oh, yes, okay.
100%. And it's like clean, and they're like, oh, see what this is what happens when you remove all the minorities, and it's an ethnically homogenized system. That's 100% what it is.
We need to get like hentai back around to expel all the conservatives from Japan. We need to be very hentai focused. To get rid of
we need to remind everybody that the fleshlight game is strong in Tokyo. That you could do some vile shit. You know, you could get up to some crazy pornographic and.
If only coronavirus had come from Japan, then we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Inject them with the Tokyo flu.
Fauci, go to Japan. Go to Okinawa, okay? Visit the swans. Make some gain of function over there. China is the next thing. But I guess the last thing I wanted to mention, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more we'll cover over the future weeks about Luigi, about the case and the CEOs. But I just wanted to say, did you guys see the part where Jesse Waters was talking about how Luigi is going to be assaulted in jail?
No, but let me pull that up really quickly.
Was he ripping off Zach's bit from a few streams ago?
Oh, maybe he was. Maybe he's watching the Vanguard. But he talked about how Luigi is going to have a really tough time in jail, which is really funny because then we saw video outside of a jail with a very different story. Let's take a listen to this clip.
And good, he's got it. Now, he's a prep school kid. He's politically connected in Maryland.
He's ready for prison?
I don't think anyone's ready, Brian. Maybe you are, Brian, in a different way. But this guy's not ready.
What? Because you're a member of the KKK.
Good. If he's not going to get the death penalty, maybe someone will do him justice behind bars. That's all I have to say.
Do him justice behind bars? What the fuck?
About that.
We should stop there.
Right.
Wait, does New York have the death penalty right now?
He's not talking about the death penalty.
Well, that's what he said. He said if he avoids the death penalty, somebody will do him justice.
Oh, yeah. Sure. He's gonna drop the soap, and all those all those people in jail that love insurance CEOs are gonna be like, hey man, I know what you did to my homie. Brian Thompson ran fucking deep.
If you take out an insurance CEO or molest a child, I think they put you in it's the same kind of code of honor, where the inmates will handle it themselves. You're with the diddlers and the CEO killers. That's what I've always heard about.
But I saw this video.
More popular in prison, honestly.
And then did you see the video? We don't have to pull it up, but there was a video outside of a prison where they were like, Luigi, like they fucking love this guy. He's gonna have a great time. It's gonna be like the fucking the Goodfellas in prison. Everyone's gonna be like, just hanging out, cooking pasta.
Too many onions, but Luigi, he knew how to make a nice sauce. Yeah.
People are gonna be checking in on his penis. Like it's gonna be okay for him, I think.
This was from a few hours ago, and here's Luigi.
Guys.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're saying free Luigi. So I guess
was that an inmate from inside the prison?
They're calling out the windows. They fucking love this guy. They think he's awesome.
Yeah.
So it is funny to see not only like the elite media, but even like the liberal people be like, well, I don't think this is the right way to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Also, like, I just think it's so fucking stupid. And I don't care who it is on either side, but like whenever the pearl clutching starts over, can you believe that Americans are celebrating a criminal? It's like, yes, I fucking can. All of our heroes in this stupid country are criminals. You know what I'm saying? From Jesse James to Bonnie and Clyde, like all these people that Americans idolize, worship, all these like, Wild West bank robbers and shit. Like, this is our fucking country. Of course we like criminals. Why do you think Donald Trump just became the president? His fucking mugshot, his fucking
That's right.
30 million charges. That shit only helped him. People love the outlaw. That's a big part of this fucking country. So no, I'm not surprised that this Luigi person is getting popular. It's as American as apple pie.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Griffin.
No. I mean, I was just going to compare that to like, everyone is loving all sorts of vigilante shit. Like people are also equally like not people, but a lot of people are so stoked on that fucking Daniel Penny fucking loser, that fucking Neanderthal guy, that it's like it's hard for the elite media people to
that's
be
the
like
Luigi Mangione of the right. He kills homeless people. Our hero kills CEOs. Wait, it's the dark and the light right there. The two sides of the coin.
Dude, yeah. So with the Daniel Penny thing, I don't want to do a whole bit on this because we need to wrap up. But like, now I'm on the subway and I see Daniel Penny, and let's go back up a little bit. So Daniel Penny felt threatened on the subway by a scary man. Okay, whatever happened after that? Didn't watch the video fully. Well, I watched the video, but
yeah, he strangles him to death, and then another guy comes over and helps him do the dirty work.
Right. Thank you. Now, let's say I'm on the subway and I see Daniel Penny. Now, Daniel Penny I know him. He's a murderer. He has killed someone. That makes me feel unsafe. I'm feeling unsafe on the subway, and he's also incredibly ugly. He looks like he's so ugly. He's starting to look British.
If they made a live action version of Sausage Party, he would be cast as the douche.
Exactly. Like if I see this Hills Have Eyes motherfucker lurking around the subway, now I'm feeling unsafe. Can I put him in a chokehold for like 12 to 30 minutes? Like what are the chokehold rules now? Because I'm feeling very unsafe on these subways.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right about his appearance, by the way. I wasn't exactly caught up on what.
Now, if I'm on a subway, he looks like he looks kind of Wallace and Gromity, like made out of clay. He looks like he's from The Hills Have Eyes, kind of.
Literally the opposite of Luigi. No fucking riz.
And the guy that he killed, Keeley, whatever his name, Jordan.
This is Waluigi.
Yeah, this is Waluigi. Jordan Neely was a Michael Jackson impersonator, okay? And so if I'm on a subway and I see this Hills Have Eyes guy or a Michael Jackson impersonator, like I know which one is making me feel far more unsafe. Like I love Michael Jackson's music. I don't like scary Skeletor people that are murderers. And so, like, what are the chokehold rules now? When can I engage a chokehold, an illegal chokehold for 12 to 30 minutes?
It's kind of like the whole. Do you remember the whole debate over the stand your ground laws after the murder of, I forget his name, but an innocent man who was murdered based in Florida, I think, based on the stand your ground laws and shit. And I was like, this is the most fucking stupid rule of all time. Like, does that mean that just anyone who makes me feel, you can just kill anyone who you have a case that is threatening you? Like, well, what if a cop is threatening you? What if you're a member of the black community and some fucking cop is at your door? Can you shoot him because you feel threatened? Obviously not. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a similar sort of story.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened with Trayvon Martin, right? When that's
that's who I was talking about.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, I came back in the wrong end of that, but yeah, completely. It's like they want to talk about how there's a lawless society in New York, and then put this guy who is a literal cold-blooded murderer. We watched him on video kill this guy. What was his name? Daniel Healy, right? Or no, Jordan Neely. Right? Yeah. Daniel Parody was
Key and Peele. He killed Key and Peele on the subway. He fucking killed
Jordan Neely.
Sketch comedians and horror auteurs.
Anyway, no,
it's fucked up. Like I don't know. Like I listen. If these are the rules now, I'm not saying that I want to do this. I'm just saying that if I see Daniel Pennywise on the fucking subway, then I might feel unsafe. I might feel very unsafe, and I may have to protect everyone else on the subway from a murderer, from a guy that murders people.
For real.
I'm not saying I'm going to do this, CIA, FBI,
Obviously.
Doge
This whole podcast is a satirical production.
We're saying this all to sound cool and to impress people
and hot.
In a parasocial way.
All of us have girlfriends, and we're trying to impress women online.
There we go. We're also not in the business of doing anything that would disrupt the powerful entities at Alphabet Incorporated. Now, anyway.
Yep. I think that disclaimer is the perfect place to end this VOD. Please, if you like this episode, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll find, if you missed any of it, you'll find the full thing on the Circle Jerk America channel. Let's go to Super Chats, and I can also open up the phone lines while we're doing that too.